I decided to retire wrestling in 2018. I decided to move into MMA 100%. People told me back then, when I told everybody that I wanted to sign with the UFC, I was too old. Well, I'm here. I'm moving over to the state. I'm doing a 2-year title run. This is probably the best start I could have at all. Vince Pichel poses, he's a big challenge. He's a tough dude, one of the strongest, strongest guys in the lightweight division. So, yeah, I'm proud. I'm happy.
The broadcast and a lot of what was made online during the fight was people were surprised at your output with the striking earlier in the fight. They expected you to just rely on your wrestling. So were you pleased with how you did in the striking, and was that the game plan specifically for Vince in this fight?
I think the whole thing about Fight Ready, which is the gym I'm joining forces with in Scottsdale, is all about game planning. We put together a pretty good, decent game plan. I was able to execute a lot of it. I know the coaches, Eddie and Santino, are still not 100% happy. But we got the win, and yeah, I can box, I can wrestle. I can do a couple of other things, but let's save that for another time.
And I know he threatened with a calf slicer and a few other leg locks when you were down there. Was anything threatening in there, or you at all? Were you safe the whole time?
No threats. Safe all the time. Was having fun in there until I kicked his knee so hard that I think my foot broke. But that goes with the sport. So, I mean, to be honest, MMA is such a beautiful sport. It's an honor to be in the UFC. It's an honor to have the opportunity to compete with the best MMA fighters in the world, and I'm happy to be here.
Then I think it was between rounds 2 and 3. I don't know if you noticed, but he pushed you and he made like a throat slash to you when you walked back to your corner. And then after the fight, I guess he had some things to say about you when he was walking by press row. Did you interact with him at all after the fight, or did you say anything to him?
Nope. It's all business.
And then I just want to get your thoughts on this. They had this long conversation on the broadcast about stand-ups, like when you're on the canvas wrestling, whether stand-ups should be allowed if the referee thinks there's no activity. Joe Rogan said there shouldn't be any stand-ups in MMA. If someone can hold you down for 5 minutes, that's just the strategy. And Felder kind of made a counterpoint. So I would like your thoughts as a wrestler about the stand-ups in an MMA fight.
I think Paul Felder is pretty happy that he retired. I don't think he would like a fight against the Olympian. So I guess that's why he would love to go a stand-up. But hey, it's MMA. Guys out there making the rules. I'm here to win fights.
Mark over here, congratulations on the win. Why do you think Paul Felder wouldn't like the fight? Like, what specifically? Just, I know you're a great wrestler and everything, but is there something specific that you do with your wrestling that would make it a bad matchup for Paul if he ever decided to come back?
I'm a 3-time Olympian, Olympic medalist, 5-time world medalist. I think I'm a bad matchup for a lot of guys with lesser wrestling. So I think wrestling is the key in MMA. If you know how to wrestle, everything else will get a lot better, even your striking, even your boxing, because everybody has to respect wrestling. So wrestling is one of those disciplines that if you master that one, you don't necessarily have to be a black belt in striking or whatever, because that poses a real threat.
And then between the second and third round, what's going through your mind? Because you mentioned that your coaches were kind of giving it to you. I believe Eddie was like, you better get a takedown in 5 seconds. Like 5 seconds, you better get this guy down. What are you thinking as these guys are sort of laying into you, trying to get you fired up for that third round?
Well, I love coaches at Fight Ready. They really know how to push me to my limit. But hey, I'm fighting for something bigger here. I'm fighting for my family. I'm fighting for the American dream. I recently just decided to move my family from Denmark over here. So I burned the ships. I'm here to make it. And when I get to deep waters, I know how to pull through. And I believe I have the coaches to do that. And proud to be part of Fight Ready.
And last thing for me, everything you've gone through over the last couple of years, now you're 12-0, you're coming off a big win. You kicked off a pay-per-view, like a massive main card here in Jacksonville. We got to have a ranked fighter next, right? Like, do you feel like you've earned that right at the very least to get somebody in the top 15?
I think I earned the right to get back into the gym, grind my ass off, be even better than I am today, really aim towards the stars, because I know my potential will take me there if I put in the hours, if I put in the blood, sweat, and tears. I think that's all that it takes. I can sit here and shout. I can sit here and challenge everybody. It's all about getting back into the gym, putting the hours in, paying with blood, sweat, and tears. That's what I'm all about. I'm here to do my best, not only when it's fight day, also getting better every single day.
Mark, I know you want to go back to the gym and grind. That's your focus. But what do you think makes sense for you next?
Well, luckily, I'm in a great promotion that has a lot of people in place to make sure that I get the right opponent for my next fight. Listen, I decided to make a 2-year title run. I'm moving from Denmark over here. I'm bringing my wife, my kids. It's no secret that my wife has a, critical disease in MS. So, I mean, we are going all in. There's no real safety net, right? Take a family that's already struggling in some kind of way towards disease. And listen, we're all in. We're moving out here. We're going at it the best we can. What makes sense for me is to get back and become even better, make sure my family gets over here, we get a base, and then just keep developing. I think I said it again. I truly think I have the potential to become world champion in the lightweight division in the UFC. All it takes is time.
Yeah. How long do you think it's going to take you to do that and achieve that?
It's a 2-year title run.
Yeah. Thank you.
Considering your background in Greco-Roman, what do you think about taking on Islam in combat sambo?
Oh, that would be a nice challenge. I never done combat sambo, so I'd probably have to catch up on the rules. But I mean, if it resembles wrestling, then that's something I can do.
Just another one real quick. Why 2 years? Why that time frame specifically?
I think, great success, you need a timeline. Great things are not, it's not a fairy tale. Life is not a fairy tale. You need to be able to invest the time in things that you want to achieve. And I believe it will take me 2 years to reach my maximum potential. So I could sit here and say, hey, I want a title shot tomorrow. Well, that might happen, but it wouldn't make sense because I think it will take time to develop my maximum potential. I do believe I have the potential, but it will take time. And I know there's 2 coaches out there right now getting ready for a title shot tonight. My teammate, Korean Zombie, is fighting later on. And I know they have a lot of things that they want to correct. This will take time. I mean, MMA is a very complex sport. It's a wonderful sport. It's a very challenging sport. And wrestling might be my first love, but MMA is definitely my second. Thank you. Have a great night. Let's see some championship fights.